There you go, guys. This is just an update on my court saga. So I hope you enjoy. Look, you don't have to agree with my politics. You don't have to agree with me, what I stand for. A lot of you know who I am and what I believe. This is irrelevant. This is about tyranny of the Victorian police and the state coming down on a man because he disagrees with how they run things. And piling on these summary offences charges, and eventually we'll get him in jail. And this is what's about to happen. So I'll explain what actually occurred, what brought me here, and what brought me into the courts. First, a lot of you probably already know, but I thought I'd go through it for new people. I was in the city on April 12, 2019 with a megaphone. I went to a public space, Federation Square, which later in the trial was brought out under cross-examination by Federation Square management that it is a public space. It's run privately, but it is essentially a public space, and it is for the public, which is me. I went to the Federation Square of the megaphone, and I started yelling on the megaphone that Muhammad was a false prophet.
Muhammad was a false prophet!
At the same time I was doing this, there was a group of Muslims allegedly praying. Now, this happened at 5 to 1 p.m. The police swiftly grabbed me and dragged me down the stairs, handcuffed me and arrested me. And under cross-examination, one of the officers stated that he did this because he was worried that the Muslim people up on top of the stairs were going to, in his words, lynch me.
Safety, come with us. For your own safety. Go, now.
What for?
Why?
I'm allowed to protest here.
You're going to get fucking pulled apart down there, so come down here.
Under cross-examination, these innocent Muslims who were being cross-examined by myself, because I defended myself at court, stated that they were a peaceful religion. Then I was driven across Melbourne, dumped on the side of the road, and told not to go back to the area, even though it's a public space, etc. But I was going to get killed, lynched, or whatever the police reckon. Okay, so that happened. A month later, I was charged with disturbing religious worship. Now, what is disturbing religious worship? Sounds retarded, sounds old as fuck. It is old as fuck, and it is retarded. It's one of the last blasphemy laws in Australia. I wouldn't like to say I'm against blasphemy laws. I mean, there should be some sort of moral, policing of society, especially when it comes to religion, because we're losing a lot of our culture and a lot of our traditions. So we need religion. Our country was built on Christianity, so I do believe there should be some form of blasphemy laws to prevent people from getting retarded. But I was charged with this law, disturbing religious worship, and I had to go to court. I did some research on this law, and it started to appear in Australia in 1899, around Federation, when it was brought over from England. Before that, it was derived from a charge called the Toleration Act of England, and it was to protect Protestants from Catholics, because Catholics were beating them up. They didn't agree with the Protestants. They were fighting all the time. But there's specific words in that Toleration Act that really make a lot of sense today in this case, because it says that you have these protections as long as you don't offend God's law. This was for Christians. It was not for foreign ideologies such as Islam. But anyway, I was charged. I went to court, cross-examined both witnesses. The police produced two witnesses who were of the Muslim religion, who were the complainants. They both claimed that they were not disturbed. The prayers actually occurred under witness cross-examination. The prayer was meant to happen at about 1:20 p.m. This incident happened at 5 to 1. Both witnesses claimed that they were having individual prayers, solo prayers. One even claimed she was chiming in her brain, which she prays 24 hours a day anyway. And I said, was I disturbing you under cross-examination? She said, no, I can't be disturbed when I'm chiming and praying. The other witness, who was actually a good witness, Mr. Al-Sayed, he said that he was praying at the time, a solo prayer, but I didn't disturb him. So there you go. There's no complaining in my theory, but the magistrate disagrees because he claims that they set the area up for the religious event. So the whole area was Islamic. And even though it's a public area, me walking in there breaches the law, etc. The prayers were individual prayers that both witnesses claim, but the charge says group of persons meeting for religious worship. Individual prayers don't constitute group of persons meeting for religious worship. But this is all legal mumbo-jumbo. The key to this whole case is this is a public space. My grandparents fought for this country. They fought for this space for me to enjoy it. They can enjoy it, that's fine. But I should be able to do what I want in the public space too. It's like recording. You can record anyone in a public space. There's no There's no expectation of privacy in public. So if you are going to drag out your speaker systems, your mosque and your worshippers and blast friggin' prayer music all the way down Melbourne, mind you, this is they didn't bring this up, but this is like a month after an Islamic terrorist attack occurred right at the same place. People are going to get offended, but hey, my rights are trampled on. Theirs ain't. Theirs are protected. I also use the Charter of Human Rights religious protections because I have a right to demonstrate my beliefs, demonstrate in public or in private. The magistrate laughed at that and said, well, no, you've offended others, so you renege your rights. And then I said to him, well, what political or religious position can someone have that doesn't offend somebody? So the Charter of Human Rights is useless. He kind of agreed, it is useless, because unless you've got popular speech, unless everyone agrees with you in the state, then you can have rights and you can have protections, etc. But anyway, I was found guilty. I will be appealing, 100%. The magistrate, Charlie Rosenberg, I think his name is, the charge carries 3 months maximum. This is a very small summary offence. I want to get that in. It's a very small summary offence, okay? I've been convicted on summary offences of 12 months maximum, and I got a $1,000 fine. But he did go through my criminal history and blah, blah, blah. So it's either a fine or 3 months imprisonment, and he went through and actually gave me a third option, which is a community corrections order. Just to give you some reference of community corrections, this is at the bottom of every one of their emails. They concede that it's Aboriginal land that we're on, and they're also an LGBTI ally, whatever that means. If you don't know what a community corrections order is, it's basically a contract you have with the state. And it says, all right, for me not to go to prison, I have to undergo my rehabilitation in the community, and I sign this contract. And anything you say that I have to do and I sign for it, I have to do. I would have been happy to do that. I would have been happy, yeah, corrections order, I'll do, 50, 30 hours, because it's a small summary offence. It shouldn't get any more than that. But anyway, he wants me to do some crazy shit. Number one, I can't go within 100 metres of a mosque. I didn't do this incident in a mosque. I didn't go to a mosque to do this. So I don't know why that's a rule. But anyway, I can't go within 100 metres of a mosque. Also, I can't associate with anyone from nationalist groups of today, like, a Patriots Front, which he mentioned, doesn't exist. NSN or any other nationalist group in Australia I can't associate with. Thirdly, I can't upload any religious or political content on social media. And lastly, this is the most craziest, I have to undergo an de-radicalisation program. This is new from Victoria Police. I don't know what they're going to de-radicalise me about. I used my voice in public, which my grandparents fought for. So you're going to de-radicalise me for... Or I went with a megaphone and said some fucking words, bro. So anyway, as I said, the community corrections order is voluntary. Today I had a phone call from Community Corrections, and they said, am I happy to undergo the signature contract with the state? I thought about us. I've spent about 2 weeks because, hey, no one wants to go to jail, yeah? But I thought about it, you know what? No, I have fucking freedoms, man, and you lock me up for 2-3 months, fine. I get out, I'm finished. I'm not going to undergo a community corrections order, which could last up to 3-4 years. And I've signed away my rights. Then if I do it and I renege on it, I can get in even more trouble. Like, no, I'm not doing that. These are my civil liberties, and I'm not going to sign them away. Our diggers didn't go fight in foreign lands and die and lose their brothers and come back all fucked up, alcohol problems, PTSD. They didn't do all that so we can just sign away our rights because we committed a small summary offence. It's insane. So, on May 11, I'm going in for sentencing, and I've thrown out the corrections order, so it's highly likely I'm going to prison for speaking in fucking public. Love yous all, and see yous on May 11th. Or I won't. I'll see yous in 2-3 months after that. Hey, thanks for all the support. I do see your messages and shit. Love yous all.